Did Jeffrey Epstein really take his own life, or were more sinister forces at play? Question has been asked countless times since his mysterious demise in a jail cell. A story that's as complex as it is controversial, shrouded in a veil of secrecy and dubious connections. Going to delve into the life of Jeffrey Epstein, his high-profile associations, the circumstances of his incarceration, and the conspiracy theories that have been spun around his death. Examine the impact of media coverage on public perception and the ongoing legal developments that continue to shake public trust. So buckle up to dive into the mysterious world of Jeffrey Epstein, where fact and conjecture intertwine. Jeffrey Epstein, known for his high-profile connections, wasn't always at the top. Born in Brooklyn, New York, to a working-class family, Epstein's humble beginnings were a stark contrast to the world of wealth and power he would later navigate. His intellectual prowess was evident early on, shining through in his academic pursuits. However, Epstein dropped out of college, choosing instead to dive headfirst into the world of finance. His first taste of the financial sector came with a teaching job at the prestigious Dalton School. It was here that Epstein caught the eye of Alan Greenberg, the CEO of Bear Stearns, paving the way for his entry into Wall Street. Epstein's rise was swift. His knack for numbers and his charismatic persona were instrumental in his ascension through the ranks of Bear Stearns. After a fruitful stint at the firm, Epstein branched out, establishing his own financial consulting firm, J. Epstein & Amp Company. His client list was as exclusive as it was impressive, catering only to billionaires. His immense wealth was a testament to his financial acumen, but it was also shrouded in mystery. Many wondered how Epstein had amassed such a fortune. His secretive nature and evasiveness only fueled these speculations. Epstein's affluence allowed him access to high-profile circles, forging connections with influential figures across various fields. From scientists to politicians, from celebrities to royalty, Epstein's network was vast and varied. His opulent lifestyle, complete with private islands and luxurious mansions, was a beacon for the rich and powerful. But as Epstein's wealth grew, so did the shadows around him. With wealth and power, Epstein seemed untouchable until the law caught up. Jeffrey Epstein, the man who hobnobbed with the world's elite, found himself in the eye of a storm as allegations of sex trafficking began to surface. Epstein's downfall began with the brave voices of his victims, who started to come forward, recounting tales of abuse and manipulation. His high-flying lifestyle, once envied by many, became the subject of scrutiny and horror. In 2008, Epstein was convicted for procuring an underage girl for prostitution and of soliciting a prostitute. He served only 13 months of an 18-month prison sentence. But this was just the tip of the iceberg. A decade later, the tides turned dramatically against him. In July of 2019, Epstein was arrested on sex trafficking charges. The indictment alleged that Epstein sexually exploited and abused dozens of minor girls at his homes in various locations. The victims were allegedly as young as 14 years old. The charges brought against Epstein were serious and numerous. They painted a grim picture of a man who used his wealth and power to exploit the most vulnerable. The legal proceedings that followed were closely watched by the public and media alike. Epstein pleaded not guilty, but the evidence against him was overwhelming. His arrest and the subsequent charges marked a seismic shift in his life. The man who once hosted lavish parties at his luxurious homes was now confined to a cell. The victims' accounts were heart-wrenching. These women, many of whom were just girls at the time of their alleged encounters with Epstein, spoke of a cycle of abuse. Their stories highlighted the dark underbelly of Epstein's world, one that was hidden beneath the glitz and glamour of his high-profile connections. The once untouchable Jeffrey Epstein was now at the mercy of the law. His downfall was a testament to the power of the victims' voices and the importance of holding even the most powerful to account. In 2019, Epstein, once a free man, found himself behind bars. On August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his prison cell. But was it suicide? This question reverberates in the minds of many as a myriad of conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein's death have arisen, each more intriguing than the last. From the outset, Epstein's death was shrouded in controversy. The official report stated that Epstein died by suicide in his cell, but inconsistencies in this account soon began to surface. Some pointed to the unusual circumstances surrounding his death: the reportedly malfunctioning security cameras, the lapses in prison protocol, the guards who allegedly fell asleep on duty. These discrepancies fueled skepticism, leading many to question the official narrative. Furthermore, the forensic evidence presented its own set of mysteries. Epstein's autopsy revealed fractures in his neck that are more commonly associated with homicide than suicide, according to some experts. This revelation intensified public speculation and further complicated the narrative surrounding Epstein's death. In the realm of conspiracy theories, Epstein's high-profile connections became a focal point. Some theorists suggested that Epstein was murdered to prevent him from revealing damaging information about powerful individuals. These theories, while unproven, have gained traction due to the lack of transparency in the investigation and Epstein's notorious network of influential acquaintances. Even those in the realm of academia and law enforcement couldn't ignore the anomalies. Renowned forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden publicly disputed the official cause of death, citing the unusual injuries Epstein sustained. Meanwhile, former New York City medical examiner Dr. Cyril Wecht called for a comprehensive review of the evidence, highlighting the necessity for transparency in such a high-profile case. Epstein's death has become a symbol of the larger mysteries that surrounded his life. It has also become a rallying point for those seeking truth and accountability in a case that has been marred by secrecy and evasion. Epstein's death only deepened the mystery, leading many to question the official narrative. The cloud of uncertainty continues to loom, and as it does, the call for a transparent and thorough investigation grows ever louder. Epstein didn't operate in a vacuum. His high-profile connections raise questions. As we delve into the enigma that is Jeffrey Epstein, it's crucial to note that his story wasn't written in isolation. Epstein, a financier with a considerable fortune, was known for his connections with a web of influential figures, from politicians to royalty. In the aftermath of Epstein's death, these connections have become the subject of intense scrutiny. Many have asked, how much did these individuals know about Epstein's illicit activities? Could they have been complicit, or perhaps even directly involved? Let's take a look at some of these connections. Prince Andrew, for example, a member of the British royal family, has been one of the most publicized figures linked to Epstein. He stepped down from royal duties in 2019 after a disastrous BBC interview discussing his friendship with Epstein. His association with Epstein and the subsequent handling of the scandal by the palace has raised eyebrows and sparked a wave of criticism. Then there are the political figures. Epstein